Another BMW. Tony doesn't mind the doors and the guards.
Tell you what, he's lucky he doesn't have to pay for them.
He wouldn't be trying that on Larry if it was any other track except Amaroo, where the Commodores are basically rendered useless. I'd be timely to check Larry Perkins, courtesy of Nissan Know-How. 37 years of age, comes from Melbourne. Course drives the NZ Fluid Connectors Commodore. Professional race car driver. First in the Australian Formula 2 Championship in 72. First in 71's Formula Ford. First in the 79 Australian Rallycross. Larry Perkins, one of Australia's most experienced touring car drivers.
There's Bajent. Great showing from him at Sandown and Surfers Paradise. But pretty grim-looking problems there with the car now as they take it to the back of the pit counter.
On screen now, Sevens race cam and Alan Grice's Commodore looking at the back at Greg Hansford in the second of the Shell Ultra Turbo Sierras, and Trevor Ashby just behind them.
Trevor's done a fantastic job all week, Wilco. He said, OK, I'm going to go for this race in a conservative way in the Lansvale Smash Repairs car. Gone for a very hard compound tyre. And incidentally, John Giddings has gone out in car number 34 in the Oxo Super Cube Sierra. But Ashby looking very neat at the moment, doing a good job. And he was very happy to be rubbing shoulders, he said, with the big boys.
Well, we saw him perform exceptionally well in slightly lower company, I guess, out here at Amaroo Park earlier this season. And he's more than holding his own here today against these guys because he hasn't got the money, he hasn't got the backing that some of these fellas have got.
He's astounded yesterday. He said, I can't believe how many tyres they throw at their cars, in reference to Grice and Brock and Perkins and so on. So I think he's doing a marvellous job.
That's Trevor Ashby we're talking about, the third car here in this line of three, the yellow Commodore. That's the man.
He's got Wally Story in his team, and Wally's a very experienced race engineer and very, very good at setting up a car. And they've been spending a lot of time on this vehicle out here at Amaroo Park, just getting the car settled and trying to make it as easy as they can on its tyres. And that's the whole key to this race.
And the fourth car in this quartet is Ludwig, who had his moment of glory in qualifying fourth.
He's still doing a great job. You have to give some credence to the fact that the guy has only basically done club racing here at Amaroo Park. He's doing a super job. But Ashby at the moment with a car length over the BMW, a little bit of trim hanging off the car. But he's no stranger to Amaroo Park. He's done very well here before in sports sedan racing. He's 36 years of age, and he's done very, very well in the AMSCAR series, as you can well see. Last year a rookie at the James Hardy 16th, and strangely enough today is his very first touring car championship race.
Well, he's doing it well, tucked in just behind Alan Grice and Greg Hansford. Of course, they're running just a little off the pace up front. Glenn Seaton continues to lead the race from Jim Richards, Dick Johnson, then Tony Longhurst, and Perkins bringing up fifth spot, just ahead of George Fury and Peter Brock, of whom we have not seen a lot. And that big VL Commodore of his still not running anywhere near the obvious potential that the car has.
Greg Hansford, the second of the Shell Ultra High Ford Cosworths, and Alan Grice continue their great scrap.
Well, Greg had a real moment in the opening lap with Gary Scott, the fellow Queenslander. He had real strife at Sandown when he got tangled up with Peter Brock, and I didn't see the incident, but I saw the pictures afterwards, and the front of the 18 car was very second-hand after his little coming together with the hole. That's right. Glenn Seaton is race leader from Jim Richards. Third place is Dick Johnson in the Ford Sierra. Tony Longhurst next. Larry Perkins is fifth. And in sixth place, George Fury in the Nissan Skyline.
Welcome back to Sydney's Amaroo Park Raceway. Lap 36 of 70, round 8 of the Shell Ultra High Australian Touring Car Championship. Peter Brock comes up on the inside of teammate Gary Scott. Brock running 7th in the field at the moment in the Mobile Commodore number 05. And that's not too bad. Not Brock's favourite racetrack now.
Very, very difficult proposition for Brock and the other Commodore runners, because this circuit doesn't allow you to rest at all, and that doesn't make it that much easier for the other guys, let me tell you. But these cars are the heaviest cars in the race, and nobody's been able to engineer a tyre that's capable of withstanding the sort of punishment that these guys are dishing out. But Brock's doing an outstanding job at the moment. The new VL Mobile Commodore, very, very nicely prepared, and Brock going for a strange mix of rubber this weekend. Avon's on the front, Dunlop's on the rear, Bridgestone stickers on the car. Make sense of that.
I don't know. There he is, trying to put a lap on Gary Rush as they head up Etchepay Hill again. Rush moves to the outside, waves Brock through on the inside. And of course, the the real dice that's developing is, of course, Tony Longhurst and Dickie Johnson in car number 17. Johnson was running second, passed then by Richards. Richards is closing on Seaton, and Longhurst has made it all the way up onto the bumper, of course, of Dick Johnson. There's the scrap going down to the late corner. No baloney. Tony will put some muscle over Dick now as they come out of the corner. It depends how resilient Dick is in this situation.
Well, we saw Longhurst give the flick pass to Larry Perkins in no mean fashion, and of course he and Johnson have had a few set twos together at Amaroo Park previously.
1.7 seconds between Glenn Seaton and Jim Richards.
Johnson using a very wide line, really caught himself out there. Longhurst comes up on the inside of him. See who can race who down through here. Johnson really cost himself that position on the entry to the corner.
Coming up on Brian Callahan too, so Longhurst will probably dodge for cover behind him if he can. See if he can snooker Johnson.
I don't think there's too much Dick can do about it at this stage. It would just appear either he's just trying desperately to conserve tyres, or his tyres have gone. Floats it in on the outside of Callahan this time as they make their way. Oh, and there goes the turbo, was it? Or maybe some cement dust on the track from where one of the production cars went in early. No, the hand comes up. Dickie Johnson's touring car challenge is over. He pulls straight in, right in front of the commentary position. Crowd goes wild on the hill. Dick is out and just backs it down pit road. His race is over.
Well, goodness me, what a disappointing end for Dick Johnson as we now join Sevens Race Cam with Glenn Seaton, and I can tell you Jim Richards is hot on his hammer. You see him glance up at the rearview mirror there once, twice, 3 times in the space of 100 metres. He's getting a worried boy as he comes down to the late corner.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on the 22-year-old. I think the Nissan team had written off the JPS BMWs here today because they were starting so far back in the pack. Jim Richards has everything working for him as Glenn Seaton leads the charge up Bitchapave Hill again.
40 laps completed.
30 laps remain. And they drop into Dunlop Loop with a car to be lapped here on the exit to the loop on the run to Mazda corner. Seaton down on the inside and Richards glued to the back of the